So dry, hot. The mission is large. There's Torreon, which is in Coahuila, the state of Coahuila. Then there's the state of Durango, and most of the mission is in Durango. And Durango is actually a lot cooler, much greener. So that's good. And then there's Zacatecas, which is at the very bottom, and that's actually very green, very beautiful. Gets a lot colder down there. So that's kind of your breakdown. So I actually never got to go to Zacatecas, but yeah. Torreon, total desert. I had a lot of areas at the edge of these cities, because here we're used to like having cities that connect to one another, but there that's not the case. It's city, nothing, other city. So you get to the edge of the city, and there's dust, there's sand, there's mountains, there's nothing, and that's kind of weird too. But also in Torreon, there's dust storms. It looks like rain. The clouds come fast, and kind of like in desert movies, you see those cloud storms. Well, it's not that bad, but it's just like that. And all of a sudden, this black cloud comes towards you, and it passes you, and all of a sudden there's just sand everywhere, and like a little bit of rain, and so it's like sticking to you. So that is real. That will happen. And it's just dust storms, just dust storms. So that's interesting. It got to a little over 100 degrees every day of the summer in Torreon. Often you'll probably spend time, hopefully your apartments aren't terrible, but I had several little houses that we lived in that were like little ovens. And we sweated a lot in those during the summer. And so you just have to, there'd be times where I'd put a bottle of water in the refrigerator, so that when you burst awake during the night from being like so hot and dehydrated, so that you can like run to the refrigerator and like chug the bottle of water and go back to sleep. I've also heard stories of people just like, putting it on them. I would at least do my face. Some people say they get in the shower, not that hardcore, but just like wet your face, drink some water, and go back to bed. But it's kind of toasty, both outside and inside your house. So don't think it's like there's not like centralized AC or heat. There's none of that. You either have a fan or a space heater, and the walls. That's it. So you got some extreme conditions. I had some, and there's parts of the mission that get really cold in the winter. So you wouldn't think it, but yeah, especially if you're in the mountains, it can snow. I saw some snow, but not in Torreon. It's not going to snow in Torreon. There are stores. Here we have like large grocery stores, but in Mexico there's a lot of little tiendas that are little family-owned stores that are on the corner near your house. And missionary homes, they tend to just missionaries gravitate towards those little tiendas, because missionaries love food, after planning, before planning, at night, all the above. And so it just makes it really easy when it's close to go, run to the tienda, come back, run to the tienda, come back. Yeah, great food. You're going to throw up sometimes. I threw up a lot. But, it happens. I kind of got over it. Sometimes the food was so good that I'd be like, oh, totally worth it, but yeah, also, it's okay if after the first plate, as far as like people go and them serving you food, I got sick, because talking about getting sick, I got sick my first week because I ate too much, because I thought they wanted me to eat too much. But after the first whatever, whether it's a bag of chips or with salsa, they always put salsa on everything. I'll get to that in a minute. Or a plate of food, after the first, if you finish it, you wipe it clean, you say, estoy satisfecho, I'm good. And they're okay with that, you know. They're rarely, and they'll be like, oh, are you sure? And you say no, and that's fine. It's totally acceptable no matter what people say. But if you don't finish your plate of food, that's no good. That's not good. But if you do ask for more, they will give you, it doesn't matter. You can't say a little bit more or just a little bit more drink. They give you full glass, full plate. So just know that. Yeah, because you find that out the hard way. You're like, oh, that was really good. I just want a little more. So un poquito más. Another full plate. Oh, man. You got to walk that off. You got to have tortillas and salsa at every meal. And if they don't, they'll send their child to the tienda to get some. Regardless of the day, or, I mean, members of the church try to be good and have tortillas and salsa, you know, for Sunday. But there are some, if there is not tortillas and salsa on Sunday, they will send their kids to go get some. It's just a staple. And at first I thought they tasted bland because they mostly give you corn tortillas. We're all used to flour tortillas. But by the end of my mission, oh, the smell of those corn tortillas is just heaven. So I totally, yeah, you get used to that. And still like fried corn tortillas with like a sunny side up egg on it, it just like hits a spot. There's taco stands. There are street vendors, don't be afraid of them. I never once got sick from a street vendor. Great food, delicious. You just got to make sure you time things right so that you don't like mess up your schedule going to and getting food from these places. But they're fun experiences. And like I said, great. Oh, tacos and gorditas are to die for.